welcome to episode 26 of the Comic Boot. I'm Kalen.
I am James.
Second week in a row we're doing magic. Oh, it's Christmas. I love it. Don't shake your head at me, young man.
If it was good, then that'd be cool, but I'd rather watch David Copperfield on a rusty VHS from the late 80s.
He's not even alive anymore, is he?
No, but he is magic.
Magic! David Blaine!
Dude, I would watch Chris Angel reruns 1,000 times over before I had to watch that damn movie again.
Oh my god. Okay, so today we are talking about Doctor Strange, because for those of you who
mean Mr. Doctor?
Mr. Doctor? What? Okay, so Doctor Strange was released on DVD and Blu-ray on February 28th. So if you feel the proclivity, the need, you can
Or if you're a Marvel
it.
apologist, you can go and buy it and say it's the greatest fucking movie on the face of the planet.
98% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my god, it's so fucking terrible, dude. I don't understand it. And I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, me too. I'm a huge Ben Batch fan. Sherlock.
This movie, man, I'll just come out and say it, and y'all can be mad at me. It's not good. It's not good. But at least this time I didn't have a headache trying to watch the goddamn thing.
Right, okay, so this movie has some insane visual effects, and James was nice enough to take me to see it while it was in theaters, and we saw it in 3D. I didn't know this until, Sunday when we rewatched it so we can take notes on it, that you had a massive headache at the very beginning of the movie.
Well, as soon as the Ancient One sends him through whatever the fuck she did to him, where it's like, hands on hands on hands.
Yeah, hands on hands on hands on hands. Where she told him to open his eye, and she was talking about his third eye.
Yeah, I open my eye whenever I take a shit. And that's what happened to this movie. It's just a piece of shit. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, dude, I had a splitting headache ever since that point. Like, we walked in just a little bit late, and so we were kind of like at the point where Circle Hands was fighting Krillin, and they were kind of going at it a little bit, and they were running through the...
Okay, you should explain that for a second.
What?
Who is Krillin?
The Ancient One.
And who is Circle Hands?
Circle Hands, the purple eyes guy.
Caecilius, the main villain whose name is Caecilius.
No, that is What's-Her-Face's dad that designed the Death Star.
Oh, Jen Erso? Galen Erso? Yeah.
Galen Erso was fighting Krillin, and because she looked just like Krillin.
She did.
And I love her so much, but she looks just like Krillin, and she's the best part of that movie. Her comedic timing is the best part of that movie.
As much as I hate that Marvel did not cast an Asian man to play an Asian character, Tilda Swinton really is a godsend.
Marvel movies protecting the world from Asian actors.
The Ancient One protecting the Marvel universe from Asian actors. Courtesy of Honest Trailers.
Yeah. So, yeah, we walked in on that, and so we found our seats and stuff, and we sat down, and then we had, the build up to him going to Kathmandu or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she sent him through his brown eye, I got a headache at that point. And I had a headache, like a splitting headache from the 3D. Like, I even pulled my glasses down at one point, and I'm like, holy shit. So I watched Fuzzy Doctor Strange for a while on the big screen.
Fuzzy Doctor Strange.
I'm sorry. I watched Fuzzy Mr. Doctor on screen for a little bit, because that's what Galen Erso told me to call him. But yeah, no, if you can't tell, I fucking hate this movie, but whatever.
I'm okay with it. I mean, but then this movie, it calls for a lot of suspension of belief.
Like,
the whole time.
Suspension of belief.
The whole time. Because there is a lot of discrepancies in what they're explaining and what is actually happening. And there's so much just pure information dump. But then after the information dump, then it's just rhetorical. They just reiterate it again and again and again.
Yeah, like they said that nothing can happen in the mirror zone to the real world, like literally 1,000 times. And I swear to God, if 12 Years a Slave didn't shut the fuck up about not being able to do damage in the real world when you're in a mirror zone, I was going to find Michael Fassbender, and we were going to have a 12 Years a Slave Part 2 because I was going to whoop that... oh my God, I just want to choke his ass out.
was a little racist.
Not racist. He was in the movie 12 Years a Slave.
He was. Didn't he?
Didn't
he win an award for that?
I think so.
Oh, good on him.
He's so good.
He is a good actor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
And that's one thing I have with Marvel is that they take these really awesome actors and they give them shitty roles. Like Mads Mikkelsen. Love him as an actor.
He was finishing up a contract. Guaranteed. Because he dies in both movies.
What?
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Oh, it's a Marvel movie. Of course the villain's
gonna
die.
No, what I'm saying is that...
Rogue One?
Yeah, Rogue One, and then Doctor Strange, he had to have signed like a 2 or 3 movie deal with Marvel or whoever. Disney. And that was...
Him
like, let's throw Mads in Doctor Strange on his dispensable bad guy number 17.
Yeah. I mean...
So, which is terrible because Mads Mikkelsen is so awesome.
But,
He's so good.
My favorite fight scenes in this movie are... with Tilda Swinton. Like the one at the very beginning when they're in London, that was awesome. And then when they're in the mirror dimension and she shows up to save their ass, that was awesome.
Oh, whenever she has the insignia burned on her head. And 12 years goes,
she does
use the dark matter. And I'm like, oh my god. No, people live to be 600 fucking years old, you idiot.
Oh man. The writing for this movie could have been so much better. And that's really where the issue lies, is the writing.
The animated film from Marvel is better than this.
I don't fully agree, but I see your point. I totally see your point. I don't fully agree, but I get your point.
And no one ever is going to say that. But the animated Doctor Strange movie is better than the live-action Doctor Strange movie.
The animated Doctor Strange is certainly more likable than live-action Doctor Strange.
Well, and that's the thing, too, and that was one of the points that you had about it, was
he's a complete asshole. Like, I didn't even root for him. I was like, good, you deserve to have your hands crushed for being a complete asshole.
Yeah.
And it's not like Tony Stark, like, I'm kind of rich, but slightly a D-bag.
At the very end, maybe. But, like, not at the beginning.
Iron Man was kind of a D-bag in the beginning.
No. I'm saying that Tony Stark... What Robert Downey Jr. does with Tony Stark throughout that entire movie is the snarky, comeback, smart-ass douchebag. He's not mean. He's not overly...
Right, but he's still lovable. Right. Whereas Doctor Strange is just a prick to everybody around him.
Right, and people are going to make that comparison like it's the same fucking movie. Same character. But it's not, because Doctor Strange is a fucking cocksucker.
Have you ever seen Iron Man on weed?
On weed? No shit, dude.
Also Honest Trailers. We're a fan.
Because Doctor Strange is Iron Man on weed.
But yeah, when you're first introduced to this character, like, you understand he's a brilliant surgeon, but then like when he's taking the phone calls from his friend, he's like, Air Force Colonel, broken back, blah, blah, blah. He goes, find me something that's actually worth my time. And then, later in the movie, he's butthurt because he had to kill somebody in self-defense, mind you. And he's like, I am a doctor. I took an oath. I'm like, where was your fucking oath when you were driving your car and be like, find me something worth my time? Where was your fucking oath then?
Yep.
Wow, I got really into it there. Okay. Dialing it back.
I don't disagree.
And the Mr. Doctor thing, that drives me nuts.
Because Mads Mikkelsen is not 1,000 years old, and he, God well knows what a fucking doctor is.
Right, and that's the thing. And in this movie, they make it very clear that the only person
It's a joke for joke's sake.
It is. Because the only person with longevity is the Ancient One.
Right.
So Mads Mikkelsen, in his current age, he would have had to live in our modern times. So how the fuck does he not know what a doctor is when he's like, okay, so the scene takes place, Mads Mikkelsen stabs this guy who's like the guardian of the New York Sanctum, and Doctor Strange is like, no, don't. And Mads is like, how long have you been at Camartage, Mr. He goes, it's Doctor. He goes, Mr. Doctor? Like, he thinks his last name is Doctor, not a title.
But then, like 5 minutes later, no shit.
He's like, you are a doctor. He's like, a scientist. It's like,
well, he's in the contraption from
medieval times that he just strings them up.
Christian Gray's personal collection.
Yeah. No. But yeah, he's like, oh, you are a doctor.
Included with gag.
It does have a gag.
Strange has to take the gag off.
Oh, now you just made it kinky.
You're welcome. Now you can think
seriously.
about Mads Mikkelsen's straight front teeth that go straight across from canines.
Oh yeah, that's.
That?
I mean, he's
not an attractive man, but he's an amazing actor.
You don't think Mads Mikkelsen's attractive?
No.
He's kind of got like a dark, kind of sexy vibe.
Dark,
about him.
like I'm gonna go shoot up Nakatomi Towers vibe to him.
Or eat you.
Yeah, either way.
He was Hannibal Lecter. That was a terrible show, but he was Hannibal Lecter.
No, Anthony Hopkins was Hannibal Lecter.
Always and forever.
Yeah. I didn't even start taking notes on this movie until Ghost Fight. Because I figured that after Ghost Fight, I had enough to, write, several short novels about everything. And
all the issues you had with it?
Everything leading up to it, including the phone call while driving, the...
Who does that? Who drives at insane speeds on windy roads in the middle of the night? It's like, I'll be on my phone.
What's the feel lesson, kids? Yeah, I just, the Kathmandu stuff, him getting to Kathmandu, I get it, he's rich, No,
he even said when he was there, he's like, I spent my last dollar getting here.
Yeah.
So he had spent all of his money on at least 7 wildly expensive and experimental medical procedures to fix his hands.
Yeah.
And this place, Kamartaj, was his last hope. Finds out it's more about...
instead of being a doctor and, maybe teaching other surgeons how to do...
See, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, you're a world-renowned, brilliant neurosurgeon, and, there's not other things... you could run a hospital if you wanted to.
You could teach other...
That, too.
...people to be brilliant neurosurgeons or whatever you're doing.
But being a teacher doesn't get you fame. And that's one thing that the Ancient One really had to drive home with him, is that, when he was yelling at her... later in the movie about saying, I took an oath as a doctor, I don't kill people, or I don't want to kill people. Yeah, and she said, you became a doctor to save one life, and that's yours.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought that was dumb, that his big, aha superhero moment is, it's not about you. He's a fucking doctor. Of course it's not about him. How did he not know that to begin with?
But I will argue this. That until the very end, all the way through the end of the movie, he doesn't change.
No, not at all.
A single fucking bit.
I mean,
all he does is he saves the world that he lives in. He doesn't do it for anyone else. He doesn't save a fucking soul. He saves the world so that he can continue to live.
Why do you want to save the galaxy? Because I'm one of the idiots who lives in it.
Yeah, he's just a self-involved prick.
And that was, and that Dormammu thing, oh my god.
Yeah, let's not get there yet, but we'll get there eventually.
But,
so,
what you just said leads into, that was the whole point of that thing.
Yeah.
Was to show he's not being selfish anymore.
So part of some of the big issues that I had with this movie, Ghost Fight was terrible.
Explain the ghost fight.
How do you explain a ghost fight? So Stephen Strange gets speared with a spectral
blade
ice pick or something.
It's supposed to be a mirror type object because
I don't know. It dissipates. Whatever, dude. Anyway, he's wearing this all-seeing, all-knowing cape that protects him from everything under the sun except for this one fucking spear that goes through his chest, through his heart, and so he sling rings into the hospital where he used to work and
finds his old girlfriend.
The portal stays open and it portals into a broom closet, and he finds his old girlfriend and she puts him on a table, can't